Do you look at that? It's gluten-free.
Dude,
It's pretty good for gluten-free.
that is good for gluten-free.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like cardboard.
No, it doesn't. Hey, welcome to the best pizza shop. I am Jesse. It is my mission to make the best pizza in Beaver County. I had a comment on Instagram a few days ago. Angie jokingly asked me to make her a gluten-free pizza. So I responded to her and I said I'd give it a shot. So I did some extensive research on making gluten-free pizza, and this Caputo Gluten is hands down the best gluten-free flour for pizza making on the market, according to all my research. They offer a recipe on their website. I've watched numerous chefs make gluten-free pizzas on YouTube, and I'm making some slight modifications based on my pizza making process. We're going to be making this pizza in one day, starting off with a Poolish or pre-dough. Let that rest for about 4 hours at room temperature, then finish the dough, and we'll be making pizza in about 6 or 7 hours. The total dough balls will be about 425 grams. To make a 16 to 17 inch pizza, the total dough recipe will be 850 grams. And one thing I heard a lot about using gluten-free flour, especially this Caputo flour, is that you need to increase the hydration of your recipe significantly because gluten-free flour absorbs more moisture. So we're going to be creating a 80% hydration, which means for every 100 grams of flour, there'll be 80 grams of water. So generally speaking, you do a 1-to-1 ratio of flour to water in a Poolish, but because we want to speed up this fermenting process, the water will be increased slightly. We'll be doing 20% of the total flour in the recipe for the Poolish up front. So that'll be 90 grams of flour, 100 grams of water, and 1.2 grams of yeast. So one of the main disadvantages of a gluten-free flour and a gluten-free pizza is the lack of protein in the flour, which creates the gluten, which gives the pizza the nice chewy consistency and taste and stability that you see in a traditional pizza. So when we make this pizza dough recipe today, we will be taking those into consideration when we're stretching out the dough later. It's a little finer than normal, I think. It's very white. Again, we're going to be doing 90 grams of flour for the Poolish to start. This is 100 grams of warm water, approximately 90 degrees. If we were doing a cold rise over the course of 24 to 48 hours, we would be using a cooler temperature. But again, because we're doing this all in one day, we're going to use slightly warmer water. Measure out 1.2 grams of yeast. That might be a little bit more than 1.2 grams. It's really hard to get precise on this scale. Let it activate. mix this up here. Angie, if you're watching this, I absolutely washed my hands for mixing this by hand. I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. Nothing fancy. So if you have a wheat allergy and not just a gluten allergy, apparently this flour does contain wheat, just not gluten. So that's important to keep in mind if you're really sensitive to wheat as well. Normally I would not turn this on high, but because of the lack of gluten and protein in this dough recipe, I want to get as much air in here as possible. I'm going to scrape the sides of this bowl to incorporate all that remaining flour that's sticking to the side here. Try it again. It's like frosting. God, it tastes like frosting. All right, so here's our Poolish for our gluten-free pizza dough. I'm gonna just set this out on the counter for a few hours, covered airtight, and we will come back in 3 to 4 hours and make our dough. All right, so welcome back. We made the Poolish for the gluten-free dough a few hours ago. It's now risen, probably not as much as I would expect to see a normal pizza rise, especially over a longer period of time, but it definitely has a great smell. It's very yeasty. So again, this is 20% of the final dough recipe, which will eventually be 850 grams, then divided by 2 for 2 dough balls of 425 grams for 2 16-inch pizzas. I am going to weigh the remainder of the flour. 90 grams of flour was in the original Poolish. Total of 454 grams of flour in the total recipe, so that leaves 364, right? 364 grams of gluten-free flour. Let's get the remainder of the water ready. I'm gonna do a lukewarm water to assist with the speed of rising. A remainder of, you know what, calling an audible. I don't want to put that yeast in there entirely. I'm gonna do 100 grams. I'm gonna weigh out 100 grams of warm water. We need another 6 grams of yeast. Gonna add that here. And we're gonna weigh the balance of an additional 162 grams of water. So that'll complete, we got 100 grams of water here. 100 grams of water here, and 162 grams of water there, totaling 362 grams of water for an 80% hydration dough. The other thing about this pizza recipe that I learned while doing some research is a lot of people add honey to the recipe. I think that's to compensate for the lack of malt that I would add to help brown the dough a little bit. I'm sure it adds some flavor as well. Now we're gonna add the salt, olive oil at the very end. And last but not least, my 2 Rivers olive oil. 2 Rivers, still awaiting your call or message on Instagram to sponsor me. I'm gonna go 16 grams olive oil. All right, let's stir up this yeast. Gonna put on my hook guy here. Add that. I'm gonna put the cold water in here just to stir up that remaining yeast. Some of it's stuck to the sides. There we go. Also, add the Poolish. Oh, smells so yeasty. Isn't it funny how smells just jog your memory, make you think about things you haven't thought about in a really long time? Give it a whirl. So far it's looking very crumbly, not what I would expect a pizza dough to look like. Break it free here. Get all that stuff on the bottom of the bowl dislodged. Let's go back at it. And the olive oil. Just gonna work this a little more. I'm gonna cover this up, let it rest for a little while. I'll come back and cut it in half, roll it into dough balls, and let it finish its rise for this evening. All right, so this gluten-free dough has been rising. Probably not as long as I would like it to, but that's okay. Gonna give these bowls a spray. Close enough. I'm gonna roll these into some smooth dough balls. There's Grizz. Grizz, say hello. Yes, Grizz loves pizza too. He does not have a gluten allergy, so I'm gonna be real gentle with these dough balls. All right, well, we will see how this goes. I'm gonna cover these dough balls up, and I'm gonna start making some gluten-free pizzas in about 3.5 to 4 hours. All right, we're at the home stretch here. Making our gluten-free pizza. I have no idea what to expect with this pizza. I hear it's delicate. Doesn't look too bad. I know I have to work it really slow, gentle. It's apparently very fragile. So far, so good. Smells pretty decent. Getting a little nervous about flipping this over again. Also very skeptical about getting a 16-inch pizza pie out of this. We shall see. Oh, already got a little hole there. Use my old trickaroo here. All right. Got it on there. Looking good. Not sticking yet. Throw on some fresh basil from my garden. My custom cheese blend. I will be throwing a link down in the description to the video where I made this cheese blend. Just little slides going in. All right, it's in. Let's cook it up nicely. If you look at that, it's gluten-free. Two Rivers olive oil. Some sea salt. Top it off with a Barbie table. Gluten-free. So I haven't tried this yet.
Okay.
So you gotta try it with me. That's okay. I don't even know if it's good.
The crust looks delightful though.
It has been steaming in the box for 30 minutes.
Dude,
It's pretty good for gluten-free.
that is good for gluten-free.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like cardboard.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
Well, I'm glad you don't think it tastes like cardboard.
no. Oh my god, that's so good.
Here you go. This is the other one is not gluten-free.
It's not like
The first hit's free.
thank you. So which one's the gluten-free one?
The one that this is GF is gluten-free. Enjoy.